10 real-world events that will end the world on Earth. There's no doubt that one day an apocalypse will happen on our planet. People probably believe in the end of the world since they began to think about the meaning of their existence and build a picture of the world around them. There are stories of the coming of the end of the world in every world religion and ancient pagan myths. Each people imagine the apocalypse in different ways and set their own terms for its beginning. Modern science can not only guess, but also test its theories using mathematical and computer modeling. Scientists have created and substantively proved several theories about the real causes of the future death of life on Earth. You can learn more about these theories by subscribing to our channel. Also, in the comments under this and other videos, viewers can express an opinion on the issues raised or express their position with likes. There are many variants of the supposed end of the world, and, oddly enough, objective arguments in favor of even the most fantastic theories can be heard, both from representatives of academic science and from the most incompetent sources. In this video, we decided to make a rating of the most popular theories of the death of the Earth and human civilization. These versions are arranged in the order of their validity or the time of the advance, from the most unbelievable to the really expected by scientists in the near future. 10th place, Zombie Apocalypse. What could be a less believable way for the death of life on Earth than the crowds of the dead who came to life due to a strange virus, for some reason have decided to eat all living people? But thanks to Hollywood and modern fantasy literature, a growing number of people around the world are beginning to seriously prepare for survival among hordes of zombies. There are rumors that in some countries, you can even insure your life in case of such an outcome. Despite all the absurdity of such a theory, the official instructions for surviving the zombie apocalypse have been released in the United States. According to the specialists who developed it, from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the zombie invasion can be considered as a universal model of an emergency. In their opinion, a person capable of acting correctly in a zombie apocalypse will be able to save himself at any other more real threat. Ninth place, an alien attack. Also one of the recognizable fantastic plots. But if we assume that in the vastness of the universe, there is a developed civilization that has already mastered interstellar flights, then most likely for it we will mean no more than the Indians of South America for conquistadors, or even ants for ourselves. In this case, the option of completely destroying the planet's population, filled with useful resources, no longer seems to be the nonsense of the screenwriter of Hollywood blockbusters. 8th place, Rebellion of the Machines. Do not think that in the production of the video, we were inspired just by the plots of fantastic films like Terminator or War of the Worlds. Robotics and computer technology have been evolving at tremendous speed in recent decades, and it is possible that after some time, the machines will be able to become completely autonomous and will be able to displace people from all areas of life. According to scientists, if technology trends continue, it will happen within a few hundred years. 7th place, gamma ray bursts. Gamma bursts are called large-scale energy emissions occurring in outer space. During such explosions, an enormous amount of energy is emitted. The sun needs about 10 billion years to allocate the same amount of it. Some scientists suggest that if such emission occurs within our galaxy and is directed toward our planet, it will lead to the death of all life on its surface. 6th place, the explosion of the sun. The central line of our system, like all stars, goes through a certain life cycle. At the final stage of its existence, it will first cease to emit through heat, and then inevitably explode. And even if some living organisms manage to survive without sunlight and heat, then after the sun explodes, the planet may not remain. 5th place, World War III. Let's turn again to the plots of science fiction films, books, and computer games. The action of a huge number of works takes place on Earth, which survived the nuclear war. Usually in such films and books, the remnants of human civilization are rolled back to the level of the Middle Ages or even the Stone Age. The main goal of the surviving groups of people is the struggle for the remnants of scarce resources and habitable territories. The actual use of such powerful weapons can lead to a long nuclear winter, serious climate change, soil contamination, acid rains, and the death of most animals and plants. In addition to missiles filled with nuclear charge, chemical and bacteriological weapons will definitely be used during military operations, which will cause no less harm and can kill all life on the planet. Fourth place, the Ice Age. It has long been known that over the history of the Earth, the climate on it has changed several times. Periods of global warming were replaced by so-called Ice Age. Sometimes during such cold snaps, almost all living organisms disappeared from the Earth. This is how the age of dinosaurs ended, for example. Over the coming decades, scientists expect the start of another planetary cooling. Due to the melting of polar ice, the warm ocean source of the Gulf Stream may disappear or change direction. Now it washes the northern and western shores of the European continent and the eastern coast of America. With its disappearance, the climate in these regions will deteriorate sharply and may simply become uninhabitable. This will cause crop failures, leading to the resettlement of people deep into the continents, which in turn can lead to hunger, lack of critical resources, and armed conflicts. With an increase in the number of areas covered by people, the number of problems will only increase. There's a possibility that the whole planet may be under a multi-meter layer of people, and people, instead of joining forces in the fight against the disaster, will destroy each other themselves due to the remaining warm places and scarce reserves of resources. Third place, Ironfall. Everyone knows that the reason for the end of the dinosaur era and the beginning of the next ice age was the collision of the Earth with a huge meteorite. Periodically, the trajectories of such space objects pass near the Earth's orbit. The next date for a possible collision of our planet with a large meteorite is set for April 13, 2029. If it falls to the surface of the Earth, we will face volcanic eruptions, giant tsunamis, climatic changes, and a possible change in the inclination of the Earth's axis or a change in the trajectory of the Earth. Second place, pandemic. The last 2 years have clearly shown that humanity is not ready to fight deadly diseases. Not the worst virus known to science caused global panic and showed low efficiency of health systems in most countries. Based on this, it can be assumed that a new virus that will have a greater mortality rate and spread more efficiently among people can lead to the death of human civilization. First place, volcanism. A few years ago, the eruption of just one volcano in northern Europe paralyzed transport links throughout the region for a long time. And what happens if several volcanoes begin to erupt at once around the world? Some scientists believe that periods of serious volcanic activity and the formation of supervolcanoes occur on Earth with a certain cyclicity. The consequences of their activities can be the most catastrophic. There is an opinion that the next such period may come in a few decades. In this case, the world will be swept by a wave of earthquakes and tsunamis. Volcanic clouds will close the sun and cause another cooling of the climate with all the follow consequences. As you may have noticed, many of the possible the end of the world scenarios of a natural phenomena can be connected and happen simultaneously or one after another. Therefore, we should not wait for the beginning of only one of the described options, but prepare to solve all these problems in a complex. If this video aroused your interest, then you can learn more about the options of the end of the world and their previous advances from other videos on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and rate the video with a like or comment. Well, in order not to miss our new and interesting videos in the future, then be sure to press the bell.